Hi there. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. I do apologize. I moved, life gets in the way, but I had some time, and so I decided I'm going to get back to this and open some junk wax from the 80s and 90s like I enjoy. And today we're going to be opening a 1988 Rite Aid Collector's Edition Team MVP set. I've opened a few of these kind of sets already on this channel, and there's a number of stores that I either wasn't familiar with because they were on the East Coast or they're now defunct. A lot of them. I am familiar with Rite Aid, although when I was collecting baseball cards, the drugstore that was in my area was called Payless. In fact, as a side, I will never forget around Christmas time, they always had this jingle that would come up on the TV. Merry Christmas from Payless, Merry Christmas, and it stuck in your head. But you also knew as a kid, oh, it's Christmas time. So Payless ended up in around 1994 acquiring Thrifty, which was another drugstore chain. They were most famous for their Thrifty ice cream, which is amazing. If you don't have a chance, I do apologize, but it's just my favorite being chocolate malted crunch. I just love their ice cream. Well, Payless, the Thrifty Payless conglomerate, was later on acquired in 1996 by Rite Aid. So eventually, all of the stores out here that used to be Payless became Rite Aid. And Rite Aid has sort of retained some of those, especially the Thrifty ice cream, is still in existence in the Rite Aid stores. It's right now, Rite Aid is actually going through a period of time where they're going through some bankruptcy and trying to consolidate themselves or get down. They've closed a bunch of stores, so who knows? Rite Aid may become another one of these stores that somebody's going to be like, oh, what was Rite Aid? Well, they went out of business in the year XYZ. Who knows? But anyways, let's get into the set here of Rite Aid Team MVPs. Now, what else is interesting is that there are 33 cards in this Team MVP set. In 1987, 88, when these came out, there were only 26 teams, baseball teams in existence. So I kind of had to do some digging. Well, okay, who did they pick for? Who did they pick for the teams that had multiple MVPs? And what I figured out is there's the 26 teams, the MVP for those teams, plus there's four of the four divisional champion teams. They picked a pitcher, or the MVP pitcher from those teams, and then they included the National League and American League MVPs, and the divisional MVPs, and then the World Series MVP. So when we get into that, and this set kind of does a good job of sorting them out to where we'll kind of see at the end of it those additional players that made it get to 33. So the overall design of this card, I actually find it kind of interesting how thick the borders end up being, to where these pictures kind of look like they've been squeezed down and take up a smaller percentage of the baseball card, which I don't really like the look, but it is what it is, and has your standard cardboard backs with the 87 season stats and a little blurb about what made them in particular the MVP for their team. So let's go ahead and go through this set. We start with Dale Murphy of the Braves, followed by Andre Dawson of the Cubs. Then we've got Eric Davis, the Reds, Mike Scott of the Houston Astros, Pedro Guerrero, the Dodgers, Tim Raines, the Expos. Darryl Strawberry for the Mets. Mike Schmidt, the Phillies. Mike Dunn, the Pirates. Jack Clark, Cardinals. Tony Gwynn, the Padres. There's my boy Will Clark, the Giants. Cal Ripken, the Orioles. Wade Boggs, the Red Sox. Wally Joyner, the Angels. Harold Baines, the White Sox. Joe Carter, the Indians. Alan Trammell, the Tigers. Kevin Seitzer, the Royals. Paul Molitor, the Brewers. Kirby Puckett, the Twins. Got Don Mattingly, the Yankees. And then we've got Mark McGwire, the A's. And this is the year that he, I believe, set the record for most home runs of a rookie with 49. Alvin Davis of the Mariners. And Ruben Sierra of the Rangers. And George Bell of the Blue Jays. So now we're getting into the pitchers that were of the division champions, because we already had Alan Trammell of the Tigers for the team MVP. But this is Jack Morris for the division champion Tigers. And then Jeff Reardon for the Twins, who were the ultimate winners, I believe, of that World Series. John Tudor, the Cardinals. And then Rick Ruschel of the Giants. And then we get to the playoffs for the American League MVP. And it even says down here clearly that this is the MVP for the American League playoffs. We have Gary Gaetti of the Twins. And then Jeff Leonard of the Giants. What's interesting is the Giants lost to the Cardinals, but they selected Jeffrey Leonard due to his performance in the playoffs as the MVP. And this is actually the second year in a row that happened. The prior year, they gave the MVP for the National League to Mike Scott, even though the Astros didn't win their playoffs. And then finally, the MVP of the World Series, Frank Viola. So in total, we ended up with 4 Twins having MVP cards in here, 3 Giants, 2 Tigers, and 2 Cardinals. So anyway, I thought that was interesting, and I enjoyed opening that, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much.